Anyhow, here and now, I will vow to somehow stop this. But my shield can everyone feel this duel? Can suspend to the plan for his cannon this new colossus? Can we beat, can compete, so retreat? It's too cruel. I'm sure it can't be done, this madcap moonshot project. This still imagined God has no potential prospect. It can't be cast, it can't be primed, it just cannot succeed. And even then no cannonball can reach the proper speed. Thousands may help you and millions may pray, but one foe can foil all your ends. Though the whole country's joined you, yours truly these days. One enemy among 25 million friends. To the editor of the Pittsburgh Inquirer, this madman's whims and dreams of cannons surely lead to fire or catastrophes unknown, placing citizens in danger. With respect to the rights of the people, I propose a simple wager. 1,000 says the gun club can contain the funds. 2,000 says the casting of this cannon can be done. The powder blows when loaded. Oh, the cannon bursts when fired. The show will crash, failing to reach the speed required.
Have you seen?
What's it?
I can't believe it. Check the time, check the pulse, check the pulse, more fall. Shan't conceive it.
What's that? It's dark.
Rumor says that Captain Nickel is a total fraud. True or false, there is no doubt his wages rather hard. I wonder what's the price on her name and her men. Either way, this mystery's as gripping as it gets. It's horrid, it's hateful, it's dastardly fickle, but one foe won't foil all your ends. The whole country's joined you except Captain Nickel, one enemy among 25 million friends.
There's a few.
There's a few killers to what's the reason for the northern soldiers running to war.
That's reading.
I say it's treason, for weapons you serve as a weapon for. Now Captain Nickel hides his safety behind his legend. Given how the nation feels, that's probably for your essay. He's rapidly disappears from Baltimore abscond. The question now is how does Captain Morgan respond?
From the desk of Captain Harkin, October 9th, that's accepted.
Already take all the chance to be take all the left all the loyal on your hands. The hearts of you know you accept Captain Nickel, one enemy, among 25 million friends.
Well done! Let's go!
Such wonderful coverage you've been getting. I'm quite thrilled with the proposals from that Penrose in from exclusive.
Yes, she's quite remarkable. Still, not all of it has been so positive.
Progress is often met with doubt and fear.
Yes, but we'll need to rely on public support to get this project done.
True. Is this your way of volunteering to handle the press?
You know I'd do anything for the club, if that's what you want.
Then the decision's yours.
Oh, too kind! And my first order of business must be this wager.
If you mean Captain Nickel,
Who else?
I've already handled that.
So it's true. You accept it?
Of course. I have no doubt we can succeed in anything we put our minds to.
You never could say no. And every time he pulls you back in.
He was my friend, Aston. And besides, it'll be fun. Winning a few little wagers will certainly drum up public support.
I just hope you know what you're doing.
Thanks, JT. I do too.
Good night, Barking.
Good night. So that's that. Let the match on the gods let down. The world is watching now, and I vow to be the leader that they need. One shot to take. Make a break. We'll get that missile there, and this'll be the way that someday we'll reach the stars and the world will see. And at this club, this old club, our old conventions and intentions, not too pure, to be sure, are all behind us now. Our future's gonna start, so take heart. Let our projectile reach that enticing scene. There's a lean that makes a pin on the moon. I feel inside.
Yeah.
On me. Postmark, Massachusetts, October 11th. Dear Mr. Barbicane, on receipt of your inquiry to the observatory, our staff drew up the following response. To answer your first question, yes, it is possible to send a projectile to the moon. In theory,
If it's given a velocity of 36,000 feet per second. To your second question, the projectile should be launched where the moon is closest and directly overhead in perigee and zenith. The two rarely occur simultaneously, but will do so at midnight on December 4th of next year. Third, the latitude of the launch site cannot exceed the moon's declination, and so must be located between the equator and 28th parallel.
fourth, given these requirements and taking into account the Earth's rotation, the moon's orbit, and the gravity involved, we calculate that for your projectile to reach its target, your cannon must be fired on December 1st of next year, 47 minutes and 40 seconds after 10 o'clock at night.
Should this opportunity give us the same conditions will not occur for another 18 years, 11 days.
Our staff is at your disposal for any questions astronomical and joins its congratulations to those of the entire nation. Sincerely, J.M. Belfast, Director of the Cambridge Observatory. And with that said, I propose to call this meeting to order. Maston.
Esteemed members of the Executive Committee, welcome. I think I can claim without understatement that there has hitherto never been a gathering of ballistic geniuses dedicated to so grand an enterprise as we five today, as we plan the parameters of Earth's first artillery ambassador to the heavens. Oh! Our magnificent projectile!
Thank you, Maston. Enough of poetry. To practicalities.
Yeah.
Before we get too far, I believe the Honorable Secretary of the Gun Club has some introductions to me.
I'd like to introduce Miss Phoebe Penrose.
Of the Baltimore Star.
Oh, that splendid article. So this is even raving about.
But we're all fans of your writing here. Of course, you've heard of Captain Barbicane, our fearless leader,
It's an honor to meet you.
The honor is all mine.
our resident artillery experts.
General Morgan, ma'am. Charge.
General.
How do you do?
And of course, the Bloomsbury sisters.
Nice to meet you. Bloomsbury. Explosive. Oh, don't mind her. I'm Philsby, May Bloomsbury. My sister and I specialize in explosive powder and other reactive substances.
Well, I'm sure we're all pleased to have you aboard.
You're too kind. I'm just here to observe, pay me no mind.
We will try. Won't we, Maston?
Yes, of course.
Now, I believe it is logical to first consider the projectile rather than the cannon that propels it, since the former must dictate the parameters of the latter. This is a scientific endeavor. We must be able to monitor the projectile's progress with a telescope.
Oh, then you must be proposing an enormous projectile to be seen from a telescope. Does that mean you have dimensions of
Friends, let me finish. The best and newest observatory in Longspeed, Colorado is able to resolve an object as small as 9 feet wide, which I propose is the diameter of the projectile. Such a shell could weigh 10 tons. It should be
Maybe, my friend, you never were quite as good a calculator as I. Now, given your parameters, the weight of the shell will be multiplied by pi. Carry the one to the density of cast iron.
When I say it'll be made of cast iron,
What then?
a suitable 19th century metal to represent our planets, aluminum.
Aluminum? But isn't that more expensive than gold?
It was. However, now it can be produced for around $9 a pound, which is costly.
But not prohibitive for our purposes. To aluminum!
To aluminum!
Carry.
Assured, splendid work today. I look forward to seeing you all bright and early tomorrow to continue our plan. Although, I believe you may still have some business to take care of. Good evening, friends.
Good evening.
Miss Penrose. Phoebe.
Yes, Maston, JT.
I was wondering, I was hoping, would you care to?
JT, would you like to join me for dinner?
Yes, of course, that is cute.
I'd love to.
Good.
Good.
That's not a problem, is it? I mean, with you being a reporter here and
You
me,
mean, is it wise mixing business and pleasure?
could be dangerous.
Could be. Could be fun. We both know we want things from each other professionally. No pretense about that.
True. So we'll keep our expectations realistic.
Yes. Think of it as a calculated risk.
I don't mind the odds. If you don't. October 13th, the planning continues.
Now then, let us turn to the question of the cannon. I believe General Morgan can enlighten us.
Thank you. I was on the experiment committee during the war. I can confirm that the highest velocity cannon shot was achieved by our own Captain Barbicane at the Union testing fields outside of New York City 2 years ago. 2,400 feet per second, I believe.
However, the Columbiad I designed last year would have bested that by 20% if it hadn't burst.
But it did burst. In any case, we need to achieve the speed velocity 15-fold my record.
What if we steal the Maston's design?
We need to make the cannon half a mile long.
Come, Master, you're going too far!
An artilleryman is like a cannonball. He can never go too far.
No, JT's figures are correct. If we were trying to go to war with the moon. However, we merely need our cannonball to make it there, not obliterate its surface.
In that case, a 900-foot Columbiad-style cannon would suffice, but it won't have the same match.
Given your expensive project, I think the cannon will have to be made of platinum.
Don't be absurd. Cast iron.
But how will it be cast?
We'll cast it in the earth, of course. Sink it straight into the ground, point it straight at the moon.
Is that safe? I mean, couldn't it burst or cause some kind of damage?
Sounds like you've been reading too much from Captain Nichols.
Well, it is a concern, isn't it?
Not if we make the wall 6 feet thick. And use the appropriate propellant.
America! My sister and I have just a thing. A little side project of our own.
We've been saving it for a suitable occasion.
Peroxide nitrocellulose! Which is
An enhanced form of gun cotton, of course,
we'll need around 400,000 pounds of cotton.
which we will fill at the bore of the cannon. It'll be about 200-foot stack.
Which seems a little short.
The last time, Maston, we're not trying to destroy the moon.
Yes, all right.
Any drawbacks?
As always, expense.
Don't worry about that. We'll be be able to raise plenty of money in no time.
Oh, you're asking for public funding.
Yes, in part.
Then I assume I'll be allowed to share the full details of the plans.
Only what is absolutely necessary.
But if
Now, for all agreements,
To the Columbia!
colleagues, I thank you for your counsel. As we're out of sandwiches and tea, let us adjourn. Master, issue a press release to papers outlining the basics of our plans. And let's hope they're feeling generous.
To every corner of the world by telegraph transmission spread the news from Baltimore about our new proposition.
Our mission will need funding, so we now seek the donations of all interested public from all continents and nations.
By the end of the week, we were overwhelmed with letters of support from the people of America and every last civilian shipping and bringing our lecture to the level of 4 million.
The French makes us show to eventually request a million francs, so well that my neighbor in the ranks suggest.
The Russian side of Russian scientifically inclined. Give twice as much credit to those that my clothes are combined.
we're the fervently land, the landing on the top, but diplomatically we call a $250,000 they will cover.
Once we barely begun raising the cash that we require. We need more funds. Can it be done? Will we amass it for this fire?
Mexico, we fight much in millions and the millions.
My father is a new one, so excuse the smoke beneath his head.
Translating 1,237 francs now counted as a loan, and just this once a gift has not compounded.
The prince of Rome, nickel, a shilling, nothing new. Yes, it seems they sent the postage. Oh no, wait, they sent a bill.
In Parliament in China, whose calendar is a lunar set 1 million.
Very generous, we should have asked them sooner.
Once we barely begun counting the cash that we accrued, but we've got funds. Can't be outdone. Now we've amassed it. We conclude we've got the funds. Capital funds. The world has endorsed us. Can't deny that we've got funds. Second to none. With our resources flying high, we've got the funds. 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 We've got the funds.
This pompous marketing is with our reprehensible. This happiness experiment is nothing more than a spectacle. To man his fragile ego, fond and flattering, intrinsic. But the Gun Club raised the funds, so this first wager I conceded.
Add another 1,000 to the account, courtesy of Captain Nickel!
The rest is trivial. Why actually building the thing is a mere technicality.
Of course, there still remains one final issue.
October 20th, 1865.
The matter we must settle today is truly of national importance, and will give us an opportunity to perform a great act of patriotism. Now, the cannon, I propose, ought to be built within the United States.
Yes. If there's one right the Union can claim, it's the right to have a formidable cannon within its boundaries.
Of course.
But under present circumstances, we're forced to choose a place fairly close to the equator, so conditions will be right for our experiment. I demand a free discussion of ideas.
Let me finish my thoughts. The cannon must be built in the United States, and must be below the 28th parallel, which can only mean...
Oh no! We'll have to invade some other country, won't we?
If my impatient friend had lets me
Bless
speak,
you.
and if he had glanced at a map, you would know that there is no need to declare war on our neighbors, because our nation is, in fact, below the necessary latitude. As you can see, we have the whole southern part of Texas and Florida at our disposal.
Texas and Florida.
Of course. Any objections? Maston.
I must say, until recently, those traitors wouldn't even have us consider them part of the Union.
True. But we won the war. So Union, they remain. Besides, we need their land.
Very well.
Now, if we're all in agreement, I've taken the liberty of drafting a telegram to send to representatives of those of the respective states. Baltimore Gun Club seeks city in your state to host Moonshot Project. Stop. We request the presence of appropriate delegates at our planning committee. Stop. We also request the presence of appropriate delegates in our meeting 1 week hence, Friday.
October 27th, 1865.
I call to order this meeting to decide the host city for the Columbia! As you're all aware, we've already narrowed the search down to 2 viable options: Florida. And Texas. Without further ado, let us begin. First, we call representatives from Florida. After them, our friends from Texas have a turn. Put to use in your proposal all the facts at your disposal to make your case and help us to discern between you. Florida, you may begin.
The city we propose to you is Tampa, a shining symbol of the Sunshine States. We've got Dallas, Houston, Waco, we're the simple choice to make go yet with Austin and El Paso all the way.
We've got the latitude, we've got the soil.
What connections and round fight
This is Stonehill.
It's really happening, Barbicane.
Here's where we'll build our powder magazines and our workshops.
The furnaces and housing for the workers.
And it will be from here, from this very spot, our projectile will begin its journey.
My readers will love to hear about all this.
Yes, I would prefer if you keep this private.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Casting a cannon is a delicate, dangerous process. It's safest for everyone if the public is kept away. I wouldn't want to cause any undue concern.
Nor do I.
We're in agreement. The workers will soon be arriving at the ports and rail stations. I'm sure there are plenty of stories to be found there.
Perhaps.
Now, I must make my way to Tampa at once to make sure all of our paperwork is in order with the local governments.
And we must head to Tampa as well.
Oh.
Oh,
Tickets. Oh, Shakespeare.
finest troupe in all of Tampa.
And they're doing much ado about nothing.
Wow, a lot more. The locals apparently took offense to the title, but with the Cubs project coming to town, so in response, the place has been switched.
To what?
As you like it.
I'd love to, JT.
My companion proved far more captivating than the play, but the real show began the next day when an army of tradesmen, mechanics, smelters, smiths, miners, brickmakers, and laborers of every type began to arrive from all over the country and immediately set to work, 1,500 strong, a veritable immigration in the name of science and progress. Of course, the gun club was no longer short of money and could ensure them generous compensation. Within a few brief days, the site was prepared and the Columbiad project was ready to begin. November 4th, and all that remains is breaking ground.
You all know why I've asked you to come to this remote and wild place. Every one of you was chosen to become a part of a new history. Now that America has free citizens within her border, we look to the stars and dream of a brighter tomorrow. You are the builders of that dream. The task ahead is not an easy one. We must remove 2,542,400 cubic feet of dirt in 255 days, but it must be done, and with your courage and skill, it will be done!
There's a change in the air, like the twang of the steam. There's a new word out there, and it's waiting for me. With the weight of the earth and a blink in my head, God approved my worth, fill my promised land.
Turn and breeze that play.
last warning, Penrose. No more of these bland updates on the Florida project. Get me an actual story, or you're out.
Everything in order? Just about, Captain. Very good.
I think my readers would appreciate some details of the casting process.
Yes, you may record the date and time.
That's it. We agreed I would get some story.
We agreed that you won't print anything that could jeopardize the project. Nothing to distract. Only what is absolutely
necessary, yes.
I'm afraid I have much to attend to. If you'll excuse me.
What's wrong?
Even after all this time, he wants me to just stick to his script. I couldn't share all the details of the meetings. He keeps me silent on the construction. I can't work like that.
I know it's frustrating.
You don't understand. This is my only chance. My deadline is coming up fast, and if my article isn't good enough,
I know. But this is our one chance, too.
I appreciate you bringing me in. But if I can't get what I need for a decent story, I'll have to look elsewhere for information.
Look, I'll talk to Barbicane and see what we can do. But until then, just do what you have to do. You're brilliant. I know you'll think of something.
What I have to do.
Furnaces at the ready. Begin the casting!
Weeks of careful planning and many months of hard work, and the Columbiad is finally complete.
Yes, it is glorious.
This should be a celebration. The whole world should see.
We have one shot, Master. Literally one shot. Think of the risks.
What about the risks? That's our business. We wouldn't have won the war if we didn't take risks.
And you wouldn't be missing so many parts.
I wouldn't have it any other way. Barbicane. This whole endeavor is a risk. Didn't you once say you thought we could do anything we set our minds to? You even wagered your reputation on it.
There's so much that can go wrong. We need public opinion on our side.
You have nothing to worry about. You asked me to help with the public, so let me help.
You really think it's for the best?
Barbicane, it's time.
Very good.
Great, because I've already started making preparations.
You what? Warmest greetings, distinguished colleagues. We have successfully constructed the largest cannon in history to send the human achievements, spherical and rich and pure aluminum, from our humble planet to the moon. And we welcome the world to Stonehill, the site of our magnificent Columbia. To officially open our site, I give you our distinguished secretary, a man we all know and mostly love, Mr. J.T. Massett. Massett!
me, and I'll give your imagination wings. Stick with me and you'll see. I'll show you all the most astounding things with smoke and sweat and steam. From wilderness to workshop that we've hewn. All this to chase our dream, to send the shell from Earth and touch the moon. Here we've got miles of new machines, foundries and powder magazines, 1,200 furnaces aglow with coal and kerosene. And all the odds between is the all-American moonshot Marble Columbia Castro Springs. It's brand stupendous, momentous, inventing this all-American dream. Come on! Come on! Welcome to the Columbia!
Olympic inspirational.
And now the whole nation will know.
I never doubted it'd be done.
Our Christian day by the ton.
We're bringing everyone to the show. Now that our captain's passed, and how we beat the Florida's terrain, we'll show the world at last. So open up the gates of the champagne. The country wants to see our country's progress. So let them come, just pay $2 fee, and to the cannons dance. And let the people come far and near to work, to watch, to just be here. This wonder of tomorrow, the world unlocks a new frontier. And feel it in the atmosphere. It's the
All-American moonshot Marble Columbia Castro Springs. It's brand stupendous, momentous, cementing this all-American,
no comparison.
all-American dream.
Murder is a massive mess.
Nothing to worry about.
You forced your way in BMS, you very one dispensed, and so 2,000 more as yours, but nothing will claim you yet. I staked my claim, the die was cast, but so too was your cannon. Therefore my hopes to win my second wager I abandon.
Captain Nichol, thank you for meeting with me.
The pleasure is mine, Miss Penrose.
I confess, I didn't expect to find you here in Florida.
Well, keep your enemies closer and all that. Now, about this article of yours.
Reading all about the Columbiad's grand premiere?
No, it's the new interview with Captain Nichol.
What? The Baltimore Star? No, what is this? The Moonshot Unmasked. Exclusive interview with elusive adversary.
The article, and it's on the front page!
I can't record both at once.
So it's true. You spoke to Nichol behind my back?
Behind your back, don't be so dramatic.
You know Nichol is Barnaby's nemesis.
People don't have